gonna make this precious Tula Pink 9-patch quilt block. But first, always remember to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. I started with 9 blocks, 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Now I want mine to finish at 18 by 18 because that's the size appliques that I make for y'all. But you could make these any size you wanted to. And if you had the appliques that you wanted to go in between them, just simply reduce the size when you're printing them. So instead of printing them at 100%, print them at 75% or 50%. So what we're gonna make is a 9-patch block. And these are the beautiful Tula Pink fabrics that Missouri Star sent us. Look how stinking cute that is. Okay, so the first thing I did was laid out my blocks how I want them to look, okay? Now I'm gonna sew one row at a time. I'm gonna sew this row. I'm gonna pick this block up, turn it over, I'm gonna sew right here. I'm gonna open that up, and then I'm gonna pick this one up and sew it right here and open that up. And after I've sewn this row, then I'm gonna sew this row and then this row. I'm sewing this with a straight stitch and a 1/4-inch seam. I'm getting the 1/4-inch seam by following the edge of my fabric with the edge of my presser foot. Do not look at your needle. Look at your fabric and your presser foot. That's gonna make your seams nice and straight. And yes, I'm going to backstitch when I start and when I stop, because my grandma said so. And when I don't say because my grandma said so, one of y'all reminds me that I didn't say it, and I love that so much. When I was in class at Missouri Star this week, so many people in my classes said, because my grandma said so. I was so tickled, and it was my grandmother's birthday while I was there, which made it super, super special. And I only got to enjoy that experience because of y'all, and for that, I will be forever grateful. The next thing we're gonna do is iron them. And we've talked about my ironing situation before. This is my wool mat, and this is a heat-resistant pad. And this is my favorite cheat iron. Now, I have the wool mat on top of my heat-resistant pad because I'm afraid that the heat is gonna go through my wool mat and burn my table. So I have this heat-resistant pad underneath it. All of these, the pad, the mat, and the iron, are all linked in my Walmart storefront, and that is in the caption if you're looking for this. So we're ironing. I'm not ironing my seams open. I'm not telling you not to. I want you to do it any way you want to do it. I'm just ironing mine to one side. It really doesn't matter how you iron it. It just makes it go together better if it's flat. So you just want to make sure it's flat. But it doesn't really matter which way you iron it. All right, let's look at our 9-patch. Here's one row, here's our second row, and our third row, okay? Now, I'm simply gonna pick this row up, lay it on top of this row, and I'm gonna sew right here. I'm gonna open that up, lay this row on top of this row, and sew right here. Easy peasy. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. We're gonna do it the same way. Straight stitch, 1/4-inch seam, back stitching when we start and when we stop. Because y'all know my grandma terrified me. She told me my stuff would fall apart if I didn't back stitch, so I'm always back stitching. If you're a beginner or a seasoned sewer and you want something that's fast, these larger blocks come together really quickly and they're super cute. And if you have a big print, these larger blocks are great for that too. And these would also make a great wall hanging. Now this started with 6.5-inch by 6.5-inch squares, because I needed it to finish at 18 by 18 because that's the size appliques I'm making. But if you wanted to reduce the applique size, now I'm assuming you're gonna put an applique in between it. You don't have to. You can make your entire quilt just like this. You can make it with any size pieces that you want to make. But if you reduce the size of the applique, you could have a 10-inch or a 12-inch block, and then you would just make your 9-patch blocks finish at whatever size you decided to make your appliques. Oh my goodness. Look how precious this is. And super simple. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher.